Hello students, welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad powered by Adda 24/7. So students, this video is the fifth stage of our 5-stage method of the current affairs discussion. So as we are discussing from the past 1 week about the 5-stage method, how to learn current affairs 10 times effectively. So this is our final stage, the section wise revision, the final stage of revising current affairs effectively. So let us watch this entire video. Please be patient. This video will be almost 1 hour. So we'll discuss current affairs section wise so that it will help you to memorize the weekly current affairs in a very easy manner. So before going into the video, please subscribe the channel, like our videos, share our videos and join the Telegram channel because every day at 7 p.m. we have MCQs, and download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the link in the description as well as comment section. So let us go into first section today, national news. So the first section today we discuss is national news. So we'll see all the week important national news in this section. So first MCQ for today. So what is the target year set by government to become an energy independent country? So to become an energy independent country, what is the target year set by the government of India? You know the answer, it is to 2047. So by 2047, that is the 100th year of independence, so we need to become energy independent. So let us discuss the news where PM Modi has set the India's target to become energy independent by 2047. So he announced this on the day on the independence, on the eve of 75th independence. So he also announced Mission Circular Economy to replace petroleum with other forms of energy and to make India achieve self-reliance in the energy production by 2047. Okay, so also let us discuss what is this Mission Circular Economy, which includes mix of the electric mobility, gas-based economy, doping ethanol into petroleum and making India a hub for hydrogen production. So for this hydrogen production hub, India has decided to set up National Hydrogen Mission to make India a global hub and an exporter of green hydrogen. So these are all the points discussed by Modi on the eve of Independence Day. So next MCQ, Tapas is an initiative to provide access to lectures by subject experts, study material and many more. So this will supplement the physical classroom without compromising on the quality of teaching. So what is the full form of Tapas? So what is the full form of Tapas? Training for augmenting productivity and services. Training for augmenting productivity and services. Answer E is the right option. Training for augmenting productivity and services is the right answer. Okay, so please remember the full form of Tapas. So this Tapas was launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Dr. Virendra Kumar, mainly to provide filmed lectures, e-study material in the field of social defense. Okay, so currently there are 5 courses under Tapas which are related to the drug substance abuse prevention, geriatric elderly care, care and management of dementia, transgender issues and social defense issues. So Tapas is an initiative of the National Institute of Social Defense. So this course can be taken by anyone and it is free of cost. So please remember all these details. So let us go into the next MCQ where government has launched a brand name and a logo for marketing the self-help group products. What is the brand name and the logo for marketing these self-help group products? The answer is Sonchoria. So Sonchoria is the brand name, the logo of the self-help group products. Okay, so Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, they launched this brand name. So to make the self-help group products popular, they are also having MOUs with Amazon and Flipkart to mainly to empower women. The main objective is to empower women. So Amazon and Flipkart, they will showcase the products which are produced by these self-help groups. Self-help groups, they are currently producing handicrafts, textiles, toys and eatables. So they are currently sold in local markets. In order to get them wider markets, so these Amazon and Flipkart, these e-commerce portals will support these self-help groups. So that is why brand and a logo is given to them called Sonchoria. Okay, so currently more than 2000 products from nearly 5000 self-help group members will be onboarded on the e-commerce platforms so that it will increase the visibility and global access for the products. Okay, so this is about the program. So next question, India is marking its 75th Independence Day. So this 75th Independence Day is observed as, what is the title, what is the name given to the 75th Independence Day? The answer is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, you are listening more in news nowadays. So this is the 75th day, Independence Day of India celebrated as, okay. So this year we are celebrating the 75th independence. So PM Modi, he led the celebrations at Red Fort. So as usual, so it is a tradition which we are following from the past, since independence, when the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, he hosted the national flag and he gave an address to the nation. So that tradition we are following even today. And this year, so PM Modi was greeted with floral petals which are showered by the Mi helicopters of the Indian Air Force in Amrit formation. And also PM Modi has invited the participants in Tokyo Olympics and the officials of the Sports Authority of India to the Independence Day celebration. And this is the 8th address as a Prime Minister of India, Mr. PM Modi's address as a Prime Minister of India. Okay, so please remember all these points, very, very important. So also remember about flag, because this may be a static GK point. So our current flag, which is hoisted on the August 15th, is made up of saffron, white, green colors and Ashok Chakra in middle. So this was officially adopted by India on July 22nd, 1947 and hosted on August 15th, 1947. And Indian flag is only supplied and manufactured from one place in India, which is the Karnataka Khadi Gramodaya Samyukta Sangha. So they only manufacture, they only supply to the entire country, which is present in Dharwad, Karnataka state. Okay, so these are static points about flag. So please remember, very, very important. Okay, so according to the Bureau of Indian Standards, flag must be hand spun, hand woven. It must not be printed. So flags must be hand woven and hand spun. Okay, and 5 other countries also celebrate independence today. Along with India, on August 15th, 5 other countries also celebrate independence today. They are Bahrain, North Korea, South Korea and Liechtenstein. So these countries also celebrate independence on August 15th. So remember all these static GK points for examination. So next question. So who has flagged off a pioneering world record expedition named Operation Blue Freedom from Dr. Ambedkar International Center, New Delhi? So who is that minister who flagged off the Operation Blue Freedom expedition? So the answer is Virendra Kumar. So our Union Social Justice Minister, as we discussed, Virendra Kumar, he flagged the Operation Blue Freedom on the eve of 75th independence. So let us discuss about Operation Blue Freedom, which is an expedition of team of persons with disabilities across the country, and their main aim is to reach Siachen Glacier to create a new record where largest team of persons with disabilities has reached the world's highest battlefield. So this team was trained by Team CLAW, Conquer Land, Air, Water. So this team of persons with disability were trained by these people. They were a team of armed forces veterans, this CLAW team. They trained these people to do this adventure expedition. So their main target is to reach the Kumar Post in Siachen Glacier. So this particular expedition is also in aligned with the Prime Minister Modi's vision of Divyangnya and Ministry of Social Justice pursuit to harness the immense potential of persons with disabilities. So these are all the details about this Operation Blue Freedom. So let us see about Operation Blue Freedom, which is launched in 2019 by CLAW Global, a team of former special operatives of the Indian Army and Indian Navy. So this operation is a social impact venture to rehabilitate people with disabilities through adaptive adventure sports. So please remember these points. So let us go into the next question, where Vice President Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, so he had unveiled the foundation stone of Innovation and Development Center of Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research. So this is present in which city? So this Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research is present in which city? The answer is Bengaluru. So in Bengaluru you will find this center, the Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, which was established in 1989 by the Department of Science and Technology. So an Innovation and Development Center was unveiled by Vice President of India Venkaiah Naidu. This center will scale up the technology transfer, which will help in meeting the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat schemes. So all the laboratory inventions will be forwarded to scale up and technology transfer using this Innovation and Development Center. So scientists will be provided with state-of-art processing and prototyping tools to enable the translation of all these inventions. Okay, so please remember, very important. So let us go into next MCQ, where the world's second largest national gene bank was set up at the National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. So this National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources is present in which city? So where it is present? The answer is Delhi. So it is present in New Delhi. So Union Minister for Agriculture Narendra Singh Tomar, so he inaugurated the world's second largest national gene bank at National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, which is present in New Delhi. Okay, so this state-of-art national gene bank, which will provide facility for germplasm to secure the heritage of seeds for years in minus 20 degrees Celsius temperature. So this facility will help in the conservation of the biodiversity of indigenous crops in the country, which will benefit the farmers to become self-reliant and provide a source for increasing their incomes. So this gene bank was earlier established in 1996 to preserve the seeds of plant genetic resources. It is now currently renovated and relaunched by the Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar. So currently the bank is protecting 4.52 lakh accessions, of which 2.7 are from Indian and the rest are imported from other nations. So do remember these points. So let us discuss a few more points about the National Gene Bank, which has 4 kinds of facilities: seed gene bank, cryo gene bank, in vitro gene bank and field gene bank, for long term as well as medium term conservation of indigenous crops like cereals, millets, medicinal and aromatic plants, and also narcotics. And discuss about the National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, established in 1977, headquartered in Delhi. Okay, so let us see some static points. So the world's largest collection of seeds is present in Norway, Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway. So it has the world's largest collection of seeds, and India has the second largest collection of seeds, Seed Vault, at Changla Pass in Ladakh region. So in Ladakh you will find this Changla Pass. So there you will find the India's largest seed vault, which is built in 2010 by the Defense Institute of High Altitude Research and National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. So this seed bank is the largest, second largest in the world. Okay. So next MCQ. So which tech platform has been launched by India in collaboration with United Nations to improve the safety and security of UN peacekeepers? So which platform was launched by India with UN to improve the security of UN peacekeepers? So the answer is Unite Aware platform. So India has launched this Unite Aware platform in collaboration with UN for increasing the safety and security of these peacekeepers. And you know, India is the president of the 15 Nation Security Council for the month of August. So that is why India got an opportunity to launch this Unite Aware platform. So this project aims to demonstrate the impact of modern surveillance technology, detection of asymmetric threats, and utilize the modern surveillance technology for real-time threat assessments. It will access live video, satellite imagery, and it will deliver early warning to the peacekeepers. It can also record data on critical incidents, and also the entire peacekeeping operations can be visualized, coordinated, monitored on real-time basis. Okay, so India has developed these platform with the support of UN Department of Peacekeeping Operations as well as Department of Operational Support. Okay, so for this project, India has contributed nearly 1.64 million. And let us discuss about peacekeeping missions, static points. So it's an operation of Department of Peace Operations and the Department of Operational Support. So wherever there are conflicts around the world, United Nations will send troops and police to maintain peace, to maintain stability in the nation. Okay, so that is the objective of this peacekeeping missions, and India is the major contributing nation to these peacekeeping missions. So currently we have 5,506 troops and police from India, which are deployed to 9 different UN peacekeeping locations, and we are the second largest troop contributing countries in the world. Okay, and also India has a tradition to send women to the peacekeeping missions, and 2007 India is the first country to send all women contingent to the peacekeeping missions. So do remember all these points. So next MCQ, where PM Modi has inaugurated several projects related to Somnath temple. So Somnath temple is present in which state? So Somnath temple is present in which state? The answer is Gujarat. So in the state of Gujarat, you will find the Somnath temple. So PM Modi has inaugurated a lot of projects in the Somnath temple complex. So let us discuss what are the projects. So the first one is Somnath Promenade, so which is a project developed under Prasad scheme, pilgrimage rejuvenation and spiritual heritage augmentation drive at a cost of 47 crore. It's just a walkway, 1 kilometer walkway called Samudra Darshan. Okay, so that is called Promenade. And Somnath Exhibition Center, developed at the Tourist Facilitation Center, which has the dismantled parts of the old Somnath temple. This old Somnath temple was constructed with the Nagara style architecture at a cost of 75 lakhs. And the reconstructed temple of the Somnath, so reconstructed temple of the present of the old Somnath temple. So this temple is also called the Ahalyabai temple because it was built by Queen Ahalyabai of Indore. So this temple was reconstructed at a cost of 3.5 crore. Okay, so because this temple is historically old, so to maintain safety of the pilgrims and to maintain the capacity, increased capacity of pilgrims, so they reconstructed this temple to make it public to the pilgrims. And also foundation stone, finally foundation stone for Sri Parvati temple at a cost of 30 crores. So this temple will have the Sompura Salat style and Garbhagriha and Nitya Mandapa. So these are all the details about the temple complex activities. So Somnath temple, which is currently in the Somnath city, earlier it was called Veeraval city in the Saurashtra region of Gujarat state. It is the first of the 12 Jyotirlingas of Lord Shiva, a pilgrimage and a tourist spot in Gujarat. It was multiple times vandalized by Muslim invaders. So this temple was reconstructed in the Chalukya style of the Hindu temple architecture, constructed way back in May 1951, which was ordered by then Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So, okay, so these are all the details. So the current chairman of the Somnath Mandir Trust is PM Modi, and the Veeraval city name was changed to Somnath on March 30, 2021, and it is the hub of fishing industries. So please remember Gujarat CM Vijay Rupani, Gujarat Governor Acharya Devraj. So we'll go into the next section, international news. We'll see all the week-long important international news. We have 4 international news. So Ghaznavi is a nuclear capable surface-to-surface ballistic missile developed by which country? So Ghaznavi is a nuclear capable surface-to-surface ballistic missile developed by which country? The answer is Pakistan. So Pakistan has developed a nuclear capable surface-to-surface ballistic missile named Ghaznavi. So this Ghaznavi can target up to 290 kilometers and can carry both nuclear and conventional warheads. So it can work in both day and night because they tested it in both day and night modes. Okay, and also this particular this missile it can target in several Indian cantonments and military bases. So this news is very important for us because it is a missile which is a threat to Indian nation. So please remember Pakistan President Arif Alvi, Prime Minister Imran Khan, capital of Pakistan Islamabad, currency of Pakistan Pakistani rupee. Let us go into the next MCQ where name the new advisory group created by WHO to study the emergence of future emerging pathogens with pandemic potential. So name the advisory group which was launched by WHO to study the emergence of future emerging pathogens with pandemic potential. The answer is SAGO. Okay, so the International Scientific Advisory Group for Origin of Novel Pathogens. Okay, so this is the name of the group. So this group was launched by WHO mainly to study the emergence of future emerging pathogens with pandemic potential and also to advise the development to WHO and also to study the versions of SARS-CoV-2 virus. So they called for nominations to this group so that every country can participate in this and there will be a transparent process. So please remember. So let us discuss about the static points about WHO. Director General Tedros Adhanom, headquarters Geneva, Switzerland, and established in 1948. Okay. So let us go into the next MCQ. Ashraf Ghani has resigned as the president of which country? This country is in news. So Ashraf Ghani has resigned as the president of which country? So the answer is Afghanistan. So Ashraf Ghani resigned as the president of Afghanistan. So Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani, he resigned because Taliban was entering the capital city. So he left the country, and before leaving the country, he resigned and he left the country Afghanistan. So probably a new interim government will be established under Ali Ahmad Jalali. Later on, Taliban will take over the government. So Afghan capital Kabul, Afghan currency, Afghani. So do remember. Okay. So let us discuss about Taliban. We already discussed, but we'll have a small discussion about Taliban. So Taliban ruled Afghanistan from 1996 to 2001 until US troops toppled them. So they gave shelter to Osama bin Laden, who was the main culprit behind the 9/11 attacks of 2001 in US. So that is why US destroyed this Taliban. So Taliban officially is called the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, and Taliban in Pashtun, their local language, is called students. So these people, this Taliban is an Islamic force set up in the southern Afghanistan by Mullah Omar. So he is a Pashtun tribe and a Mujahideen commander. So he pushed Soviets out of the country in 1989. So later on he launched this Taliban with 50 followers in Kandahar. He captured Kandahar, Kabul, and he imposed strict Islamic rules like banning TV music, stopping girls from going to school, and forcing women to wear burqas. So later on, Taliban government was toppled by the US government. So now Taliban is fighting against the US backed government in Kabul. So the current leader of Taliban is Haibatullah Akhundzada. So he is the current leader of Taliban. He is also a Pashtun tribe from Kandahar. So these people will again they will re-establish their government in Afghanistan very soon. They already captured the country. Now they will re-establish their power. So Taliban mostly they'll get their money from illegal drug trade by imposing taxes on the poppy growers and heroin producers in areas where they control. They also tax on business and operate illegal mines. So they have supporters from Pakistan and Gulf. They get money from all these people. Okay. So it is second richest terrorist organization in the world. So please remember these points. So next question about a new president. So Hakainde Hichilema. So he is the president of which country? So Hakainde Hichilema is elected as the president of Zambia. So he is the new president of Zambia. Okay. So please remember he belongs to the United Party of National Development. So he won the 2021 president election. So with a 59% of votage. So he will be the new president. So Zambia has got independence from Britain in 1964. So from then onwards it's a democratic country which is changing power between the ruling and the opposition. So Zambia country, capital Lusaka, currency Zambian Kwacha. So do remember these points. So next question is about the resignation of a prime minister. So this person is a prime minister of which country? So Muhyiddin Yassin is the prime minister of which country who resigned recently? The answer is Malaysia. So Malaysian Prime Minister Yassin has resigned to his position after 17 months in office because of his lack of support in the parliament. So he resigned and he submitted his resignation to the Sultan, the monarch of Malaysia, Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah. Okay, so monarch appoints the prime minister in Malaysia. So Yassin will continue as a caretaker prime minister till a new prime minister is established. And the monarch is unwilling to conduct elections because the COVID-19 is very much in Malaysia now. So the cases are increasing day by day. So Sultan is not favoring the polls. So Yassin without a cabinet will continue as a caretaker prime minister. So Malaysia capital Kuala Lumpur, currency is Malaysian ringgit. So do remember all these points. So let us go into the next section of state news. We'll see the all important state news. We have 8 important state news this week. So India's first drone forensic lab and research center was established in which state? So India's first drone forensic lab and research center was established in Kerala. So remember Kerala, in Cyber Dome facility, the first drone forensic lab was established. So Cyber Dome is a technical R&D lab of the Kerala State Police. So this center will watch the unauthorized drones and it will produce drones for use of police force. So they will also this is a lab cum research center which will look into the utility and the threat aspects of the drone. So that is why they launched this drone forensic lab. So recently a drone incident happened in Jammu and Kashmir where with drones the militants are trying to implement bombs in the protected areas. So that is why we need to study about drones also. So Kerala CM Pinarayi Vijayan, Kerala Governor Arif Muhammad Khan, remember. So next MCQ is about a state where new 4 districts were formed in the state. Mohalla Manpur, Sharangar, Bilaigar, Shakti and Marendragarh. So these are the new districts formed in which state? So the answer is Chhattisgarh. So in the state of Chhattisgarh, Chief Minister Bhupesh Bagal on the eve of Independence Day, he announced 4 new districts and 18 new tehsils or blocks. So these are the 4 new districts: Mohalla, Manpur, Sarangar, Bilaigarh, Shakti and Manendragarh. So these are the 4 districts of the Chhattisgarh state. So with these 4 districts, currently Chhattisgarh will have 32 districts. And also he announced a garden will be developed exclusively for women in every district headquarter and municipal corporation called Minamata Udyan. So Minamata is the first woman MP from Chhattisgarh who was elected in 1952, who worked for the empowerment of women and betterment of society. So Chhattisgarh CM Bhupesh Bagal and Governor of Chhattisgarh Anusuya Uki. So do remember these points. So next question, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhammi has announced Indian women hockey team player to be the brand ambassador of the State Department of Women Empowerment and Child Development. So who is the new brand ambassador of Uttarakhand Women and Child Development Department? The answer is Vandana Kataria. So Vandana Kataria, the Indian hockey player, star hockey player, she will be the brand ambassador and also brand ambassador for the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme for Haridwar district. She hails from Haridwar district. So on the eve of the Tillu Rautilli Awards, which is the state highest honor for women. So on the eve of presenting these awards, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhammi has announced that Vandana Kataria will be the brand ambassador for the department. And this award, Tillu Rautilli Award, consists of 25 lakhs, so which was given for her because she is the first woman to score a Olympic hat trick. Okay, so that is why she was awarded this award. Okay, so Uttarakhand Governor Baby Rani Maurya, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhammi, very important, so please remember. So next, which of the following state has decided to set up training center for anti-terrorist squad commandos? So which state is going to set up training center for anti-terrorist squad commandos? The answer is Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh state government has announced that they will set up ATS operational centers as well as training centers for the commandos. Mainly the commando training center will come in Sarangpur, Deoband area. So in the Deoband town, the particular ATS center will be established. Okay, so please remember. So recently many suspected Al-Qaeda operatives and ISI agents were arrested. So that is why UP government has come to this decision. And Deoband is strategically important for UP because it is in the border of Uttarakhand and Haryana. And at other places, at Zewar, at Barachai and Sarvasti. So in all these places, there will be operational command units of ATS. Okay, so please remember. Let us discuss about Deoband, which is a city of knowledge where 300 madrasas are present, and it is mainly because of the Darul Ulum where students from across the world will come to this Deoband for education. So please remember UP Governor Anandibeen Patel, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. So let us go into the last MCQ in this section. Which of the following state is set to launch India's first smart health card scheme? So which state is going to launch smart health card scheme? The answer is Odisha. Odisha is the first state to launch the smart health card scheme. So this will cover nearly 3.4 people of the state under the Biju Swasth Kalyan Yojana. The main aim of this scheme is to provide hassle-free quality treatment to the people. So this card works like a debit card. So they can use it for the central government schemes as well as for state government schemes. The main beneficiaries of the schemes will be national and state food security beneficiaries, Annapurna beneficiaries and Antyodaya card beneficiaries. And they will get a health benefit of nearly 5 lakh per annum for family. Okay, and women will get especially 10 lakh annually for annually health benefits. So they can avail these card around 200 hospitals around the country. So Chief Minister of Odisha Naveen Patnaik, Governor is Ganesh Lal. So do remember these points. Let us go into the next section of appointments. So we'll see the important appointments. We have 5 important appointments. So Adi Godrej, he announced that he will step down as the chairman of Godrej Industries. Now who will take over as Godrej Industries chairman? So the answer is Adi Godrej brother Nadir Godrej. So Nadir Godrej is the new chairman of Godrej Industries Limited. Okay, so Adi Godrej, he announced his retirement from the chairman of Godrej Industries, but he will continue as the chairman of Godrej Group and also the chairman emeritus of the Godrej Industries Limited. So Adi Godrej, so earlier he was awarded Padma Bhushan Rajiv Gandhi Award, and American India Foundation Leadership in Philanthropy Award. So these are all the achievements of Adi Godrej. So let us discuss about Godrej Industries, which is established in 1963, headquartered in Mumbai. And Godrej Group is an Indian multinational conglomerate headquartered in Mumbai and managed by the Godrej family, which was established in 1897. And they operate in various fields like real estate, consumer products, industrial engineering, appliances, furniture, security, agricultural products. So these are all the achievements of the Godrej Group. So next question, actor producer who was appointed as the chairperson of Jio Mami Film Festival. So who is the chairperson of the Jio Mami Film Festival? The answer is Priyanka Chopra Jones. So Priyanka Chopra Jones is the chairperson of the Jio Mami Film Festival. So Mami is abbreviated as Mumbai Academy of Moving Image. So which is a public trust which organizes the annual international film festival called the Mumbai Film Festival. And Priyanka Chopra Jones is the chairperson and the vice chairperson is Neeta Ambani. So the board of trustees of this Mami board, so they unanimously nominated Priyanka as the chairperson of the group. Please remember. So Amway India has announced which of the Olympian is the brand ambassador for their products. So Amway India has announced who as the brand ambassador for their products. The answer is Mirabai Chanu. So Mirabai Chanu is the brand ambassador of Amway and Nutrilite products. Okay. So Mirabai Chanu will campaign for Nutrilite Daily, Omega and all plant protein products of Amway India. So Mirabai Chanu recently has won silver medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in women 49 kg weightlifting category. So let us discuss about Amway India, which is a subsidiary of the Amway Corporation. Currently headquartered in New Delhi, established in 1995, which sells the health, beauty and home care products. Okay. So next question, who among the following is the brand ambassador of adventure tourism in Kerala? So he is also a sports personality, belong to Kerala state. So he is the brand ambassador of adventure tourism in Kerala. So the answer is PR Srijesh. So PR Srijesh, the goalkeeper and former captain of Indian hockey team, who also participated in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, where Indian hockey team has a bagged bronze medal. So Srijesh is now the brand ambassador of Kerala Adventure Tourism. So Srijesh, he belongs to Ernakulam in Kerala. So he was named the brand ambassador. So Kerala Chief Minister Pinari Vijayan, Governor Arif Muhammad Khan. So last question in this section, Shantilal Jain was appointed MD CEO of which bank? Shantilal Jain was appointed MD CEO of which bank? The answer is Indian Bank. So for Indian Bank, the new MD and CEO is Shantilal Jain for a period of 3 years, which can be extended for 2 more years. So the current chairman is Padmaja Chunduru. She will retire and she will be replaced by Shantilal Jain. Shantilal Jain is currently working as the executive director in Bank of Baroda. So he is appointed for 3 years, can be extended for 2 years. So this appointment was recommended by the Bank Board Bureau. So Bank Board Bureau will recommend the names to the Department of Financial Services, which will finalize the decision. So Bank Board Bureau was established in 2016 after the recommendations of Naik Committee, which will recommend the appointment of whole-time directors, non-executive chairpersons of the public sector banks and the state-owned financial institutions. So please remember. Okay, so Ministry of Finance will take the final decision on the appointments. So Indian Bank established in 1907, headquarters is in Chennai. So let us discuss schemes and committees. We have only one question on schemes. Only one single scheme announced by PM Modi. So PM Modi on the eve of Independence Day has announced a Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti initiative. So to create employment opportunities and infrastructure development. So this initiative will cost how many crores for India? So with how many crores PM Modi has announced this Gati Shakti initiative? The answer is 100 lakh crores. So PM Modi on the eve of 75th Independence Day has announced Gati Shakti program. This program aims to adopt a holistic and integrated approach in infrastructure growth, create employment opportunities for youth in the country. So soon government will announce master plan to help boost the productivity of industries, boost the economic growth of India and to create job opportunities. And Gati Shakti will link all the rail, road, air, waterway projects to reduce the travel time, improve the industrial productivity, make manufacturing globally competitive, facilitate future economic zones and create employment. So this is about Gati Shakti program. Please remember. Let us discuss about summits and conferences. We have 3 to 4 important summits and conferences. So let us see who organized the IBSA Tourism Ministers Meet virtually. So which country has organized the IBSA? IBSA is abbreviated as India, Brazil, South Africa. So who organized this meeting? The answer is India itself. So India organized the meeting virtually, and it was headed by the Union Minister of Tourism G. Kishan Reddy. Remember, he is a new minister. So the meeting is mainly to promote the tourism cooperation among member states, to recognize the importance of strengthening the cooperation in tourism to overcome the impact of COVID-19. At the end of the meeting, they have adopted a joint statement, a document on cooperation and promotion of the speedy recovery of travel and tourism. Okay, let us discuss about IBSA, which is a unique forum which will bring India, Brazil and South Africa, three large democracies, major economies from three different continents facing similar challenges. The group was formalized in 2003 after issuing the Brasilia Declaration, and India is the current chair of IBSA. IBSA does not have a headquarter or a permanent secretariat. Please remember these points. Okay, so next question, Union Minister of Agriculture, you know him, Narendra Singh Tomar. He addressed the 6th Agricultural Ministers Meet of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So who is the incumbent minister? I said you the answer by mistake. So who is the Minister of Agriculture? You know the answer, it is Narendra Singh Tomar. So Narendra Singh Tomar is the Union Agriculture Minister who addressed the 6th meeting of Agriculture Ministers of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which was conducted by Tajikistan. Okay, so the Ministry of State Agriculture was also present. So he highlighted the schemes developed by Government of India to develop innovative technology and the dissemination of lab to land, mainly to empower the youth farmers and farm women in the country. So he highlighted all the things done by India to develop agriculture in India. Okay, so let us discuss about Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is a permanent intergovernmental international organization, a Eurasian political, economic, military organization aimed to maintain peace, security and stability in the region. Created in 2001, and the official languages are Russian and Chinese. Prior to Shanghai Cooperation Organization, it was called Shanghai 5, but later in 2001, when Uzbekistan joined this organization, it is called Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and India and Pakistan joined in 2017. Currently it has 8 members. Okay, please remember these points, static GK, all these are. So who is the chair of 5th meeting of BRICS industry ministers in 2021? Who is the chairman? So you know the answer is India. India is the chairman of the BRICS meeting. So this meeting was chaired by the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal. So Piyush Goyal chaired the meeting. He also announced the expansion of the New Development Bank. India is the current chair of BRICS for 2021. And remember the theme, very, very important, intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation and conscience. Theme is very, very important. If you find a theme, please remember. So the main agenda of the meeting is to adopt emerging technologies and recognize modernization, transformation of industry and promotion of economic growth, and also promote intellectual property rights, and to collaborate with the New Development Bank, and to share best practices, and to construct and to achieve the 2030 agenda of sustainable development are all the objectives of this meeting. So let us discuss about BRICS, very, very important. BRICS is an acronym of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So in 2001, British economist Jim O'Neill, so he coined the term BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China. So this group was formalized in 2006, and 2010, South Africa was invited to the BRIC, and now it is called BRICS. Currently it is called BRICS. Okay, so they have launched their own bank called the New Development Bank, which is set up in 2014 to support all these emerging economies. So which is established in, which is headquartered in Shanghai. Okay, remember these points, and please answer the question. Theme of the 5th meeting of BRICS industries ministers. So you know the answer, intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation and consensus. Okay, so please remember, very, very important. Okay, so we'll go into the next section, awards. Let us discuss all the important awards. We have 10 important awards. So let us discuss all the important awards. So gallantry awards were announced by President Ramnath Kovind. So how many gallantry awards were announced by Kovind this year? So the answer is 144. So 144 gallantry awards were announced by Ramnath Kovind for armed forces, police and paramilitary on the eve of Independence Day. He also announced 28 mention in dispatches, mainly for army personnel, for their contributions. So the awards include 1 Ashok Chakra, 1 Kirti Chakra, 15 Sauri Chakra, 4 Bar to Sena Medal, 116 Sena medals, 5 Nau Sena medals, and 2 Vayu Sena medals. So in this list, please remember Ashok Chakra, very very important, Babu Ram. Kirti Chakra was given to Altaf Hussain Butt. So both of them belong to Jammu and Kashmir Police. So Ashok Chakra to Babu Ram, Kirti Chakra to Altaf Hussain Butt. So let us distinguish the awards. So gallantry awards are distinguished 3 types: War awards, Peacetime awards, and distinguished service medals. So wartime awards are Paramveer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, Veer Chakra. Peace awards are Ashok Chakra, Kirti Chakra, Saurya Chakra. Distinguished service awards are Sena medal for Army, Nau Sena medal for Navy, and Vayu Sena medal for Air Force. Okay, so this question very simple: who was awarded the Ashok Chakra? So this year, who was awarded the Ashok Chakra? You know the answer, Babu Ram. We already discussed Babu Ram. Next question also you know, who was awarded Kirti Chakra? You know the answer, Altaf Hussain Butt. So who was awarded Kirti Chakra? Altaf Hussain Butt. So please remember, these two are very very important. So next question, who is the first Indian to receive the highest civilian award in United States? So who will become the first Indian to receive the highest award in United States, the Congressional Gold Medal? So Mahatma Gandhi will become the first to receive this award, the US Congressional Gold Medal. So a resolution was introduced in the House of Representatives of America where they want to award Congressional Gold Medal to Mahatma Gandhi for his contributions for peace using his weapon, non-violence and truth. So earlier, George Washington, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr. and Mother Teresa were awarded this, presented this award. So if the award was given to Mahatma Gandhi, he will be the first Indian to receive the award, the Congressional Gold Medal, which is the highest civilian award in USA. So USA capital, Washington DC, currency United States dollar. Okay, so please remember all these points. See the question. Who has been awarded the National Youth Award for leadership qualities? So who among the following was given the National Youth Award? It is Mohammad Azam. So Mohammad Azam of Telangana, Karimnagar district, was given the National Youth Award by the Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur. So total 14 awards were given for 2017-18 and 8 awards were given for 2018-19 year. Okay, so Mohammad Azam was given for mainly for his contributions to the society, where he did several awareness programs on blood donation, organ donation and plantation programs, and also he worked for water conservation, construction of soaking pits, works related to Swachh Bharat mission and government welfare scheme, and also he contributed for the Harita Haram program. And earlier he was awarded the Indira Gandhi NSS Award, Pratibha Puruskar Award and Rashtriya Gaurav Samman Award. So for his contributions he was given the Youth Award, National Youth Award. So this National Youth Awards were given by the Ministry of Youth Affairs mainly for individuals and organizations for their social service, mainly in health, promotion of human rights, active citizenship and community service. The award contains a medal, a certificate and 1 lakh to individual and 3 lakh to an organization. These are the cash prizes. Okay. So these awards are mainly to motivate youth to achieve excellence in the field of national development and social service, and to make a sense of responsibility, to improve their own personal potential, to recognize the outstanding work. These particular awards were given to the youth. Please remember. So next question, which film has won the best film, feature film in the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne? So which film has won the best film, best feature film in the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne? The answer is Surarai Potru. So Surarai Potru, a Tamil film. So this film has won the best film, feature film in the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne Awards. Okay. So Indian Film Festival of Melbourne Awards were announced recently. So these awards were established in 2012 by the state government of Victoria, an annual film festival based in Melbourne and presented by Film Victoria, which is a statutory agency of the state government, Victoria state government, which will provide support to film, television and digital media industries. So here is the list of winners. So let us see the overview. So best feature film, Surarai Potru. Best performance male, Surya Shivakumar, the hero of Surarai Potru. And best performance female, Vidya Balan of Sherni movie. Best director, Anurag Basu of Ludo. Best web series, Mirzapur season 2. Best actress in a series, Samantha Akkineni. Best actor in a series, Manoj Bajpayee. So please, Family Man 2 of Family Man 2, and Samantha Aknani also for Family Man 2. So please remember, because we have questions on these. Okay. So who won the Best Performance Male Feature Award? Best Performance Male Feature Award. We already discussed it is Surya Sivakumar. Surya Sivakumar. So next, Best Performance Female Feature Award. Best Performance Female Feature Award. The answer is Vidya Balan. So we already discussed it is Vidya Balan. So next question, Best Web Series. We already discussed it is Mirzapur Season 2. Best Web Series, Mirzapur Season 2. Very famous. I know most of you have watched this. So next, Best Actor in Series. Best Actor in Series, Web Series Best Actor, and very famous Manoj Bajpayee, Family Man 2. So ironically, all these are present in Amazon Prime. Okay, so Best Actor in Series, Manoj Bajpayee. So these are all the questions related to awards. Now we'll go to business news. Okay, let us discuss the business news. So which of the following company is the fourth Indian IT company to hit 3 trillion market cap? So which of the following company is the fourth IT company to hit 3 trillion market cap? So the answer is, what is the answer? HCL Technologies. So HCL Technologies is the fourth IT company to hit 3 trillion market cap or market capitalization. So after TCS, Wipro and Infosys, HCL is now the third IT company, and around, if you see the leaderboard of the companies, overall companies, Reliance is the top among the market capitalization in India with highest market capitalization. So what is market capitalization? As we discussed, it is a market value of publicly traded company outstanding shares. That means market capitalization is equal to share price multiplied by number of shares outstanding. So share price of every price and how many shares are lying outside in the market. So suppose there are 100 shares outside in the market and each share 10 rupees. So that will be the market price. If the value of share is 10 rupees, there are lakhs of shares outside in the market which are sold. So 10 rupees into these lakhs. So that much will be the value of the company. Okay. So HCL new CEO, please remember Vijay Kumar, established 1976, headquarters Noida. Okay. So next, small business loan initiative was unveiled by in India in collaboration with Indifi. So which of these companies have unveiled the small business loans initiative? So the answer is Facebook. So Facebook in collaboration with Indifi, so they launched a small business initiative. So India is the first country where Facebook is launching these types of programs. So the objective of the initiative is to help the small and medium business which advertise on Facebook to get access to easy loans. Okay, so that it will reduce their credit gap and it will improve the MSMEs in India. So currently it will be available in 200 towns and cities in India. So Indify is the first lending platform on Facebook which tied up with Facebook to provide this loan, small loan program. Okay, so these lenders, sorry, these people, the people who are advertising, small business who are advertising on Facebook, they'll get loans at an interest rate of 17 to 20% per annum. They also get loans without collateral. Okay, please see these points. So Facebook established 2004, headquartered California, CEO Mark Zuckerberg. So Indify Technologies, which provides financial services, currently headquartered in Gurugram, Haryana. They provide loans to e-commerce, travel, hospitality, retail and trading businesses. Okay. So let us see banking news, very important. We have 7 important banking news this week. So RBI has cancelled license of which bank in Maharashtra? So RBI, so all the bank examinations, banking news important. Please remember this section, very important. People preparing for banks, this is your section. So RBI has cancelled license of which bank? Karnal Nagari Sahakari Bank. So RBI has recently cancelled the license of the Karnal Nagari Sahakari Bank. Okay. So this bank is based in Raigarh in Maharashtra state. So due to insufficient capital and earning prospects and they can't pay their depositors, so this bank was cancelled, the bank license was cancelled by RBI. So the Commissioner of Cooperation and Register of Cooperative Societies was requested to wind up the company, to establish a liquidator to wind up the entire for the process of winding up. So RBI announced that 95% of the deposits will be insured under the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Scheme. Okay, so up to 5 lakhs you will get your deposits back. So RBI Governor Shaktikant Das, headquarters Mumbai, established 1935. Remember. So RBI has imposed a monetary policy of how much on the Cooperative Rabobank UA. So it's a Netherlands-based cooperative bank. So RBI imposed how much monetary penalty? The answer is 1 crore. So 1 crore penalty on the Cooperative Rabobank UA, which is a Netherlands-based Rabobank Group's bank, which is currently in Mumbai. So they were penalized for they were in contravention with the provisions of Banking Regulation Act and mainly directions related to transfer to reserve funds. So that is why when they did a inspection for supervisory evaluation, so RBI found that there were contravention of provisions of the Banking Regulation Act and a 1 crore penalty was imposed on them. So next question, who announced green and sustainable deposits to safeguard the environment from climate change? So which bank has announced green and sustainable deposits? The answer is HDFC Bank. So HDFC Bank has announced the green and sustainable deposits. So these are fixed deposits, and these fixed deposits will be used for financing the housing credit companies. Okay, so deposit must be 36 to 120 months, and the interest is provided at 6.55 for senior citizens, extra 0.25% per annum. So HDFC Bank headquarters Mumbai, established in 1994. Okay, so RBI has announced a financial inclusion index this year, for the very first time. So according to RBI, so what is the index of India? What is the current index of India? Financial inclusion index 53.9. So 53.9 is the index of financial inclusion index announced by RBI. So this financial inclusion index is a measure of the extent of financial inclusion in India. The value will be from 0 to 10 and it will be published every year in the month of July. And this year our position is 53.9, our score is 53.9. So they take three things as parameters: access, usage and quality, and 97 indicators to give this index. So RBI Governor Shaktikant Das, headquarters Mumbai, established 1935. Please remember all these points, very very important for all the bank exams. So PRISM is placed by RBI to strengthen the compliance by supervised entities. Okay, so what is PRISM? Is it a software? Is it an application? Is it web-based automation system, antivirus, or automation system? So which of the following is PRISM? The answer is web-based end-to-end workflow automation system. So web-based end-to-end workflow automation system is PRISM. So RBI has announced a PRISM platform for regulated entities for integrated supervision and monitoring. So this web-based end-to-end workflow automation system will strengthen the compliance by supervised entities. It will aim in helping the supervised entities to strengthen their internal defense and resilience. So PRISM has various functionalities like inspection compliance, incident functionality of cybersecurity, complaints and written for functionalities. So it will also have built-in remediation workflows, time tracking, notifications, alerts, management, information system, reports as well as dashboards. So this will help the supervised entities. Okay, so please remember PRISM. Okay, so next question, Neo Collections is the do-it-yourself digital repayment platform launched by which bank? So Neo Collections is a do-it-yourself digital repayment platform launched by which bank? The answer is Kotak Mahindra Bank. So Kotak Mahindra Bank has launched Neo Collections do-it-yourself for missed loan repayments. So in collaboration with Creditas Solutions, Kotak Mahindra Bank has launched this do-it-yourself digital repayment platform. So this is powered by artificial intelligence and machine learning, which will deliver personalized, non-intrusive experience, thereby enabling customers to manage their dues seamlessly by using their own repayment platform. Okay. So Kotak Mahindra Bank, established 2003, headquartered Mumbai. Creditas Solutions is a fintech company that uses machine learning to help lenders optimize their collections and recovery performance. Established in 2015, headquartered in Gurugram, Haryana. Okay. So last question in this section. So NPCI International Payments Limited. So they tied up with which bank to launch Unified Payment Interface Facility in United Arab Emirates? So NPCI International Payments Limited. So they had tied up with which bank to launch UPI? The answer is Mashreq Bank. So Mashreq Bank, the oldest privately owned bank in United Arab Emirates. So they have tied up with NPCI International Payments Limited to launch Unified Payments Interface in United Arab Emirates. So this will enable 2 million Indians who travel to UAE mainly for business or leisure purpose to pay for their purchases using UPI based mobile applications across the shops in UAE. Okay, so NPCI International Payments Limited is launched in April 3rd, 2020 as a subsidiary of NPC, National Payments Corporation of India, so which is devoted for mainly the development of RuPay cards and UPI outside of India. So within India, NPCI will take care, outside India, NIPL will take care. NIPL, NPCI International Payments Limited, okay, very simple. Now let us go into economy news, only one single question from this economy news. What is the revised GDP growth rate of India projected by India Ratings, INDRA, in financial year 2022? So what is the revised GDP growth rate? So the answer is 9.4%. So 9.4% is the growth rate estimated by India Ratings and Research, which is a local research agency. So earlier their estimate was 9.1 to 9.6, currently it is 9.4, okay. So please remember, so this India Rating and Research is the most respected credit rating agency in India, which will provide accurate, timely, prospective credit opinions. So it is 100% owned subsidiary of Fitch Group, which is headquartered in Mumbai, and Fitch Group is one of the top 3 credit rating agencies, big 3 credit rating agencies in the world. Fitch, Moody's, Standard & Poor, they are considered the big 3 credit rating agencies in the world. So please remember all these points. Let us go into agreement news. We have 2 important agreement news. So Indian Navy has an MOU with which of the following bank to launch Honor First Banking Solutions? So which bank had an MOU with Indian Navy to launch Honor First Banking Solutions? The answer is IDFC First Bank. So IDFC First Bank and Indian Navy has launched Honor First Premium Banking Solutions for serving and veterans of the Indian Navy. So Honor First Defense Account, which is a new banking account mainly for the Indian Navy officials. So it will have a personal accidental insurance cover of 46 lakh and a child education grant of 4 lakh and a 2 lakh marriage cover and total or partial permanent disability cover and a zero balance account, 5% interest per annum, net banking, customized mobile app, free air accidental insurance of 1 crore, Visa signature debit card, no annual charges, complimentary air launch, domestic air launch facility, so free lost card liability, fraud protection, purchase protection against theft and damage, free unlimited ATMs, free online transactions, unlimited checkbook, anywhere banking. These are all the benefits under the Honor First Defense Account, okay. So please remember MOU with Indian Navy. So IDFC First Bank established 2015, headquarters is in Mumbai, okay. So next question, the last question in this section. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS. BRICS has signed an agreement for cooperation in remote sensing satellite data sharing with which of the following organization, which of the following space agency? The answer is ISRO. With ISRO, the BRICS nations has signed for cooperation in remote sensing satellite data sharing, okay. So this deal will enable building of virtual constellation of specific remote sensing satellites of the BRICS space agencies. So currently India is the chairperson of the BRICS bloc. So on the eve, BRICS and ISRO had an agreement. So this agreement was done under the supervision of BRICS Sherpa Sanjay Bhattacharya, who is a diplomat who organizes meetings between nations and who maintains all the MOUs between all these nations, okay. So this deal will mainly support the work towards challenges faced by humans like global climate change, major disasters and environmental protection. So ISRO chairman, please remember K. Shivan, headquarters Bengaluru, established 1969. Remember all these points, very very important. So let us see defense news. So very very important defense news we will see. So a lot of defense news in this week. So Indian Navy has conducted a multinational CCAT exercise. So this Indian Navy has participated in CCAT exercise. So CCAT exercise is organized in which country? So CCAT exercise is organized in Singapore. So CCAT, Southeast Asia Cooperation and Training, a military exercise was organized in Singapore by US Navy. So US Navy will organize the CCAT exercise every year. So this year it was conducted in Singapore. This is mainly to enhance the interoperability and share maritime security and to preserve rule-based international order. So this exercise has nearly 400 personnel, 10 ships participating. Okay, so the first CCAT exercise was held in 2002. So please remember, mainly to enhance the cooperation among the Southeast Asian nations, this particular exercise will be conducted. Okay, So these are all the countries which participated in the exercise. So CCAT exercise is organized annually by whom? Annually organized by United States. This year it was held in Singapore. So see the difference. Annually organized, here we already discussed, US led CCAT. So annually organized by US, this year organized in Singapore. Okay, so very important, so please remember. So next question, exercise Konkan between Indian Navy and which of the following Navy? So exercise Konkan is held between Indian Navy and which of the following Navy? So exercise Konkan is organized between Indian Navy and which of the following Navy? The answer is Britain. So between Britain and Indian Navy, exercise Konkan was held in Portsmouth in England. So from Indian side, INS Thabar has participated, from Indian side, INS Thabar. From British side, HMS Westminster was participated. So since 2004, to enhance the interoperability and cooperation between the nations, we are conducting these exercise Konkan. So let us discuss about Thabar, which is a Talwar class stealth frigate, okay, of the Western Naval Command, and the current commanding officer is Captain Mahesh Mangapudi, and the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Karambir Singh. So do you remember these points? Britain capital London, currency is pound sterling. So do remember also these points. So next question, INS Ran Vijay. So they undertaken a bilateral maritime exercise in Southeast Asia, South China Sea, which of the following country? So INS Ran Vijay has participated in a bilateral maritime exercise with which of the following country? The answer is Vietnam. So Indian naval ship INS Ran Vijay, INS Kora, and Vietnam People Naval Ship Lai Tai Tho. So all these ships have participated in a bilateral maritime exercise in the South China Sea, mainly to strengthen their defense ties, to maintain their strong bond between the countries, to strengthen the Vietnam-India defense relation, to enhance their interoperability, adaptability. So this bilateral exercise was conducted. So this is very important question. Let us see. So Jazba Ki Tiranga is a relay marathon organized by Indian Army in Jammu and Kashmir of how many kilometers? So this relay marathon is how many kilometers? The answer is 400 kilometer relay marathon. So 400 kilometer relay marathon. So Jazba Ki Tiranga, a relay marathon conducted by Indian Army in Jammu and Kashmir. So it was flagged by Major General Rajiv Puri. So more than 300 troops along the line of control have participated in the event, mainly to maintain the spirit of brotherhood. So they carry national flag and hand it over to the other units, so which will symbolize their unity. So Chief of Army Staff General M.M. Narwani. So remember these points also. So DISC 5.0 is launched by which ministry? DISC 5.0 is launched by which ministry? The answer is Ministry of Defense. So Raksha Mantri, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has launched Defense India Startup Challenge DISC 5.4 under Innovation of Defense Excellence, Defense Innovation Organization IDEX DIO initiative. So Ministry of Defense has earmarked 100 crores for domestic procurement this year, and for the IDEX program, Ministry of Defense has earmarked 500 crores for the next 5 years. So DISC is a platform where government services, think tanks, industry, startups will come together to help the defense and aerospace industries to create a strong, modern, well-equipped military and equally capable, self-reliant defense industry. Okay, so DISC 5.4, known as the DISC India Startup Challenge, is a project under IDEX DIO to leverage the startup ecosystem in India to develop defense technology, manufacture the capabilities, increase their manufacturing capabilities and designs. Okay, so let us discuss about IDEX, which is an initiative launched by PM Modi in 2018 to achieve self-reliance and promote development of innovation and technology in Indian defense and aerospace sectors. Okay, so next, All India Tri-Service Mountaineering Team. They successfully scaled the Mount Manirang. So Mount Manirang is present in which state? So Mount Manirang is present in which state? The answer is Himachal Pradesh. So in the state of Himachal Pradesh, you will find Mount Manirang. So the all-women tri-services mountaineering team, which on the eve of the 75th independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So they scaled this particular mountain. So a 15-member expedition under the leadership of Wing Commander Bhavna Mehra. So they scaled this Manirang mountain. So Manirang mountain, the highest mountain in Himachal Pradesh, present between the Kinnaur, Lahul, Spiti districts. So very close to the peak is Manirang Pass, which is an early trade route between Spiti and Kinnaur. So which is also recorded the most remote and hard pass even today. So, and also the least explored mountain passes in Indian Himalayas. So they scaled to this mountain and hosted the national flag. So please remember. Okay. So Mount Manirang is called the crown of Spiti Valley. Remember these points. Next question. Which institute has jointly developed an advanced shaft technology to safeguard fighter aircraft of Indian Air Force from enemy radar threats? So which institution has developed the advanced shaft technology? So the answer is DRDO. So DRDO has developed shaft technology. So this will safeguard naval ships and safeguard fighter aircraft from the enemy radars and missiles. So this is developed by the DRDO lab in Jodhpur in collaboration with the High Energy Material Research Lab in Pune. So they developed three variants: short range, medium range and long range. So this small particular piece, if you see in the picture, this is the shaft cartridge. So this will create decoys and it will deviate the enemy from targeting the main ship. Okay, so that is the advantage of this particular shaft technology. So it's an electronic countermeasure technology mainly to protect our military assets. Okay, so it will protect the assets from the radio and radar frequencies. So in case of naval ships, the shaft rockets are deployed in air, which will act as multiple targets for the missile guidance system. So people will be confused where to attack, which to attack. So very less quantity of the shaft material can act as a decoy in the air. So DRDO chairman Satish Reddy, headquarters New Delhi, established 1958. Okay. Let us go into the next section, ranks and reports. We have 6 questions in this ranks and reports. So which city was adjudged the second most polluted city out of the 50 most polluted cities in the world? So which city is the second most city? This city is in India, that is why it is a question. So Ghaziabad is the second most polluted city. So according to House Fresh, a report given by the British company, so 50 most polluted cities list was given, and in this list Ghaziabad is the second place. Bangladesh is the most polluted country, and 49 out of 50 most polluted cities are from Bangladesh, Pakistan, China, India. And Sudbury of Australia is the cleanest city. Bhutan of China is the most polluted city. Ghaziabad is second polluted. Manikganj in Bangladesh is the third polluted city. Housefresh, which is located in London, which will provide product recommendations that make sense for a vast majority of people. They gave this report top 50 polluted cities, and Ghaziabad is second place, Bhutan of China first place, third place Manikganj of Bangladesh. So this question is also related to this. So which is the top city in cleanest air? So cleanest air, top city in cleanest air. So Sudbury. So Sudbury of Australia is the top city with cleanest air. Okay. So remember these points. So most polluted country, you know the answer. Most polluted country, Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is the most polluted country. So we discussed already here. Okay. So next, what is the rank of India in terms of crypto adoption? What is the rank of India in terms of crypto adoption? Second rank. So 2021 Global Crypto Adoption Index, so which was released by the chain data platform Chainalysis. So they released the report. In this report, rank 1 goes to Vietnam, rank 2 India, rank 3 Pakistan, rank 4 Ukraine in cryptocurrency adaptations. So see, the cryptocurrency adaptation in India is very vast. So US is currently at 8th place and China at 13th place. Okay, so top 5 countries in adoption of cryptocurrency are from Asia itself, and Bitcoin is most popular in India, then is Ripple, then is Ethereum, then is Bitcoin Cash. And crypto adoption in India is very much seen in smaller towns, tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and mostly it is because of referrals. Okay, so people are not investing seriously in cryptocurrency, but they are trying to draw many users to get money overnight. Okay, so just simply you will refer your number to your friend, you will get some money, he will get some money. So like that you are trying to make money in this cryptocurrency, but you are not investing money in cryptocurrency. So that is in India, situation of India. Okay, so Chainalysis is a blockchain data platform which will provide data, software, service, research to government agencies, financial institutions, insurance and cyber security companies in nearly, they are present in 60 countries. So established in 2014, headquartered in New York. Okay, please remember these points. So next, which company emerged as the world's most valuable company in Huron 2021 Global 500 most valuable companies. So in the most valuable companies Global 500 list, so which company topped the list? The answer is Apple. So Apple is the top company, world's most valuable company. So Huron Research Institute, they released this Huron Global 500, which is the 500 most valuable non-state controlled companies, defined as by market capitalization or valuation. Okay, so they released a list and Apple is the top. Next is Microsoft, third is Amazon, 4 Alphabet, 5 Facebook, and the 6th place is Tencent. So USA is topping the list with the 243 companies, then China with 47, Japan with 30, UK with 24, and India is 9th with 12 companies, and among India, Reliance is the top most valued company, and in the world it is 57th. Okay, so Huron is a research media investment group established in London, UK in 1999. It will provide research reports in collaboration with the world leading financial institutions, real estate developers, and regional governments. Okay, so please remember. So again, related to this only, the question, Reliance Industries is a top Indian company in the Global 500 list, so which is ranked at 57. So how many Indian companies are present in the list? We already discussed there are 12 Indian companies in the list. There are 12 Indian companies in the list. Okay, so please remember. So Reliance Industries 57 rank, India is 9th rank with 12 companies. Okay, so let us see science and technology. We have two important questions here. So which of the following company has launched MyEHeart? So a portal to empower artisans to strengthen the value chain of handicraft sector. So which company has launched this MyEHeart portal? The answer is HCL. So HCL has launched, mainly HCL Foundation, they launched this portal to empower artisans to strengthen the value chain of the handicraft sector. So this platform will enable the artisans and primary producers to conduct their business by listing and showcasing their products directly to customers. Currently, more than 30 partners from 8 states with 600 products are listed on the portal. They can directly showcase their products and they can sell these products on portal. So this will help in bringing the talent of skilled craftsmen across the country. So it will increase the recognition, appreciation, and remuneration of these people, okay, of the artisans. So HCL new technology new CEO Vijay Kumar, established 1976, headquarters in Noida. So please remember. So last question in this section, Dharmendra Pradhan has inaugurated Center for Research and Innovation in Artificial Intelligence. At which IIT? So at which IIT Center for Research and Innovation in AI is set up? The answer is IIT Hyderabad. So in IIT Hyderabad, Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has set up the Center for Research and Innovation in Artificial Intelligence. He also inaugurated the academic buildings of the Department of Material Sciences and Meteorological Engineering. Okay, so this Center for Research and Innovation in Artificial Intelligence we set up in collaboration with the Japan International Cooperation Agency and also Honeywell Technology Solutions. Okay, so this lab will help them a lot in innovations. So please remember. So let us go into books and authors. Just we'll discuss the book and who is the author. Very simple. Okay. So this book was released by whom? Accelerating India's 7 Years of Modi Government was released by whom? It was released by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. So Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has released the book Accelerating India's 7 Years of Modi Government. So this book was edited by Rajya Sabha MP K.P. Alphonse. So the book is a collection of 25 essays covering 25 sectors of governance contributed by 28 authors. So this book is edited by Rajya Sabha MP K.J. Alphonse and released by Venkaiah Naidu, Vice President, remember. So who is the author of the book? The Dream of Revolution, a biography of Jai Prakash Narayan. Who is the author of the book? Both Sujita Prasad and Bimal Prasad. So both Sujita Prasad and Bimal Prasad. So answer will be option 1 and 2, option E. So they are the authors of the book A Dream of Revolution, the biography of Jai Prakash Narayan. So Operation Kukri. So this book is authored by whom? Operation Kukri. The book is authored by Rajpal Punia and Damini Punia. So Rajpal Punia and Damini Punia, they are the authors of the book Operation Kukri. So please watch the details here. We have discussed about Operation Kukri in detail earlier in the past videos. So you can study about Operation Kukri here. So let us discuss sports news. Very quickly we'll discuss the sports news. So 2020 Tokyo Paralympics will witness the largest Indian contingent. So how many members are participating in the Paralympics from India? So how many? It is 54. So 54 members will participate in the Paralympics and India is sending 54 to the Tokyo Paralympics. Okay, so Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, Anurag Singh Thakur, so he gave a formal send off to them. So 54 sportsmen will participate in 9 sport disciplines. So Paralympics will be conducted from August 24th to September 5th in Tokyo. So please remember these points. So next question, which bank has signed an MOU with the Paralympic Committee to provide financial assistance to the Paralympic athletes in Tokyo? So which bank will provide assistance to these people in Tokyo? So the answer is Indian Bank. So Indian Bank has signed an MOU with the Paralympic Committee to be a banking partner to them. Okay, so they will provide financial assistance to these people. The mainly Paralympics to Olympians to prepare for various sports events, to pursue proper training, to purchase equipment, kits, nutrition and all these things. The bank will provide all the assistance. So Indian Bank headquartered Chennai, established 1907. Let us discuss about the Paralympic Committee of India, which is a body responsible for selecting athletes to represent India at the Paralympic Games, international athletic events, and to manage Indian teams at the events. Established in 1992, headquartered Delhi, and the present president is Deepa Malik, who is a Paralympian, who is a winner, medal winner of the Paralympics, Deepa Malik. So please remember this important. This information is important. Okay, so Harshit Raja is the 69th and the newest Grandmaster of chess for India. So he hails from which city? So Harshit Raja belongs to Pune. So he is the new Grandmaster, the 69th Grandmaster of India in chess. So okay, he achieved this feat in the Wheel Masters Open 2021. Okay, so please remember, very important. So Grandmaster is a title awarded to chess players by the World Chess Federation, which is the highest title a chess player can attain. So remember about him. So name the chess player who won the 2021 Spilimbergo Open Chess Tournament. So who is the chess player who won the Spilimbergo Open Tournament? The answer is Raunak Sadhwani. So Raunak Sadhwani has won the Spilimbergo Open Chess Tournament. So he is from Nagpur. So he won the event in Italy. So please remember. So Lionel Messi is how many times the winner of Ballon d'Or, the European best soccer player. So Ballon d'Or, European best soccer player. So Lionel Messi is how many times the winner? He is 6-time winner of the award. He is a 6-time winner of this award. So Argentina forward Lionel Messi. So he recently joined Paris Saint-Germain FC football club. So he left Barcelona club recently, you know this. So currently he is now playing for the Paris Saint-Germain, which is also called PSG. Okay, so please remember Lionel Messi, now PSG football club. So who will host the 2021 edition of World Athletics Under 20 Championships? So who will host the World 2020 World Athletics Under 20 Championships? The answer is Kenya. So in Nairobi, Kenya, so the World Under 20 Athletics Championships will be held. So this World Athletics is a biennial world event which is conducted every 2 years. So sports event organized by World Athletics mainly for under 20 age category. So World Athletics is an international governing body for the sport of athletics. They maintain the rules for standardization, regulation of sports, recognition and management of world records, organization and sanctioning of athletic competitions, and including the World Athletics Championships. Okay, established in 1912, headquartered in Monaco, and the 2022 edition will be held in Colombia. Current edition is held in Kenya. Okay, so which state government will sponsor Indian hockey team for 10 more years? So you know who is the sponsor currently for Indian hockey teams? It is Odisha. So Odisha will continue their sponsorship for 10 more years, announced the Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik. So Naveen Patnaik has announced his first sponsorship in 2018. So this sponsorship will extend till 2023, and from 2023 10 more years, from 2023 10 more years he will sponsor the both Indian hockey men and women teams. So recently he awarded 10 lakhs to player and 5 lakhs to the supporting staff because of winning medals in the Olympics. Okay, so in 2018 Odisha has signed an 100 crore agreement for Hockey India to support the team for 5 years, because Sahara India has left the sponsorship because of some legal issues. So Odisha government has sponsoring them, and now they are extending the sponsorship for 10 more years. Now let us discuss days. Quickly we'll discuss all the important days. So Partition Horrors Remembrance Day is observed on. Partition Horrors Remembrance Day is observed on August 14. So PM Modi has announced Vibhajan Vibhishka Smriti Divas on August 14. So Partition Horror Remembrance Day is observed on August 14. Okay, so World Photography Day is observed on 19th August. So World Photography Day is observed on 19th August. So please remember, very very important. So World Humanitarian Day is observed on 19th August. World Humanitarian Day is observed on 19th August. And also remember the theme, the human race, a global challenge for climate action in solidarity with people who need it the most. So theme is very very important, please remember. Okay, so next, World Mosquito Day is observed on 20th August. World Mosquito Day is observed on 20th August, and the theme is reaching the zero malaria target. Reaching the zero malaria target. Okay, so please see these slides, very very important about mosquitoes. We discussed about all the diseases. So see this slide. So Sadbhavana Divas is observed annually to commemorate the birthday of which leader? Sadbhavana Divas is celebrated annually to commemorate the birthday of which of the following leaders? So the answer is Rajiv Gandhi. So on 20th August we observe Sadbhavana Divas, the birth anniversary of Rajiv Gandhi. Okay, so please remember, we have discussed about Rajiv Gandhi. Go through these slides. So Akshay Urja Divas is observed on 20th August. So 20th August is Akshay Urja Divas. Okay, so please remember Akshay Urja Divas 20th August. So World Senior Citizen Day is observed on 21st August. World Senior Citizen Day is observed on 21st August. International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to Victims of Terrorism is observed on. International Day for Remembrance and Tribute to Victims of Terrorism is observed on which day? The answer is 21st August. The answer is 21st August. Okay, so please remember, very very important. And the last about Sanskrit Week. So Sanskrit Week is observed from August 21st, August 19th to August 25th. Sanskrit Week is observed from August 19th to August 25th. And Sanskrit Day is observed on August 22nd. So please remember all these days. Now we will go into obituaries. So Chinmay Chatterjee passed away recently. He is a famous, which of the following? He is a famous footballer. So famous footballer who played in 1978 Bangkok Asian Games. Also played for Mohan Bagan FC, East Bengal FC and Mohammedan Sporting. So he passed away recently, Chinmay Chatterjee. Okay, remember. So football legend Gerd Müller, so he passed away recently. He belonged to which country? So football legend Gerd Müller, he passed away recently. He belongs to Germany. So Germany legend football player who is called the Bomber D Nation, the nation's bomber. So he passed away recently. Very important, remember. So this question is very very important. The father of Sudoku who passed away recently. So the father of Sudoku, Maki Kaji, so he passed away recently. Who invented the game Sudoku, so he passed away recently. Please remember Maki Kaji. So Anand Kannan, so famous Tamil personality, he passed away recently. He is a famous actor and an anchor. So TV anchor, TV actor who famous during 90s and 2000s. So Anand Kannan, he passed away recently. So let us go into the last section for today, miscellaneous news. We'll discuss all the important miscellaneous news. So 4 sites for India were added to the Ramsar list of wetlands of international importance. So how many total Ramsar sites are present in India now? So how many Ramsar sites are present in India now? 46. So 4 new sites, let us see the news. 4 more sites were added to the Ramsar list, Indian sites mainly. So Ramsar Convention, which is the wetlands of global importance. It's an international treaty for the conservation and wise use of wetlands. So 4 sites were included. The first one is Bindwas Wildlife Sanctuary in Haryana, Sultanpur National Park in Haryana, Tol Lake Wildlife Sanctuary in Gujarat, Wandwana Wildlife Wetland in Gujarat. So all these sites were included in the Ramsar list. So these wetlands are home to endangered bird species, and current number of Ramsar sites in India is 46. Wetlands are ecosystems which are saturated with water seasonally or permanently. They mainly include mangroves, marshes, rivers, lakes, deltas, floodplains, flooded forests, rice fields, coral reefs, marine areas no deeper than 6 meters, human-made wetlands, water waste treatment plants, reservoirs, all these are considered as wetlands. So they are around 6% of earth land area, and they have 40% of plant and animal species. These are the importance of wetlands. Wetlands are called the kidneys of landscape. They act as water purifiers, water regulators and maintain biodiversity. So in order to protect them, Ramsar Convention on Wetlands is an international treaty adopted on February 2nd, 1971 in the Iranian city of Ramsar. Okay, so where wetlands of international importance will be considered as Ramsar sites. and they will be protected. And India has 46 sites, remember. So name the first cattle genomic chip launched for conservation of the pure varieties of indigenous cattle breeds. What is the name of the genomic chip? IndiGov. So IndiGov is a chip launched by the Union Minister of State for Science and Technology, Jitendra Singh. So Jitendra Singh has launched IndiGov mainly to conserve the pure varieties of indigenous cattle breeds. Okay, so this technology was developed by the scientists of National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, Hyderabad. Okay, so they launched this chip, which is indigenous and largest cattle chip in the world. Mainly the goal is to conserve our own cattle breeds and to double the farmer income by 2022. Okay, so let us discuss about the National Institute of the Animal Biotechnology, established in 2010, mainly for development of sustainable and globally competitive livestock. They show excellence in production of globally competitive livestock products, pharmaceuticals, nutritional products, and other biological related to the animal health care. Remember all these points about the institution. Okay, so Vande Bharat Express. How many Vande Bharat Express were announced on the eve of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav? How many? 75 years of independence, 75 new Vande Bharat trains are announced by PM Modi on the eve of Azad Ki Amrit Mahotsav. Currently 2 trains are running, one from Varanasi, New Delhi, and the other one is Katra and New Delhi. So 75 trains will be provided in this next coming weeks, where you will find they connecting all the important cities in the country. So Vande Bharat trains. So current Minister of Railways, new Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, please remember. And except Sikkim, all other states in India are connected to railway network. Okay, so Sikkim is only state which is not in the railway network. So please remember also that point, static point. So next question. So which Indian hospital is the first hospital to have a in-house fire station? So which Indian hospital will have in-house fire station? The answer is AIIMS Delhi. So AIIMS Delhi will have in-house fire station. Okay, so for this AIIMS has collaborated with Delhi Fire Services. So the AIIMS Delhi will provide infrastructure. Delhi Fire Services maintain the fire tender equipment and man force. So AIIMS Delhi Director Randeep Gularia, and AIIMS is established in 1956 in Delhi. So please remember, very very important. So a mobile app, photographic record on on-site facility, Proof, was launched by which state or union territory? So mobile app Proof was launched by which state or union territory? The answer is Jammu and Kashmir. So Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has launched Proof app, mainly to bring transparency and accountability in the governance system. Okay, so in order to monitor the work progress and to have timely completion of the projects, this particular app was launched. So you need to click pictures of all the work done with the geographical coordinates to get money from the treasury, to get bills approved. You need to provide, you need to mandatory update the geotagged photographs, and this will bring more transparency and accountability in the system. Okay, so please remember Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha. Pondicherry will celebrate Independence Day on which day? So Pondicherry celebrates Independence Day on 16th August 1962. So 16th August 1962 is de jure transfer day or Pondicherry Independence Day. Okay, so in the place of Kizur in Pondicherry border, where the transfer of power taken place between the French and India. So de jure transfer day is the day when Pondicherry got the real independence. So even after 1947, Pondicherry was under the control of French. So officially in 1962, French transferred Pondicherry to India. So Pondicherry Lieutenant Governor in charge is Tamilisai Sundararajan, Chief Minister is N. Rangaswamy. Remember these points. So Faridabad Smart City Limited has roped in a famous personality to promote its initiatives on social media. So who is that comic hero? So Faridabad Smart City has roped in which personality? It is Chacha Chaudhary. So Chacha Chaudhary, the famous, you can see in the picture here, is a famous comic hero. So he is collaborating with the Faridabad Smart City Limited to promote its initiatives in the social media. So Chacha Chaudhary and his loyal aide Sabu, so both of them will promote the activities done by the Faridabad Smart City project. Okay, so please remember all these points about smart cities. So which highway in India is the first EV friendly highway? So Delhi Chandigarh is the first EV friendly highway in India. So with a network of solar based electric vehicle charging stations, Delhi Chandigarh highway is the first EV friendly highway in India. So Ministry of Heavy Industries Mahendranath Pandey, so he inaugurated this state of art charging station at the Karna Lake Resort. Okay, so all type of EV vehicles in India can be charged in these charging stations. So a network of solar based electric vehicle charging stations will be set up by BHEL under FAME 1, faster adaptation and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles in India scheme. So under this FAME scheme, solar based electric vehicle charging stations will be set up by BHEL along the highways. Okay, so they are grid connected rooftop solar plants which will provide as a charging stations. So BHEL is working on upgrading the other charging stations on the highway. So for every 25 to 30 kilometers you will have charging stations in the highway. So Delhi Chandigarh highway is the first EV friendly highway in India. So BHEL established 1964, headquarters Delhi. Okay. So next question, Amazon Alexa has brought in a Bollywood star as a part of its voice assist in India. So you know voice assist, Apple Siri, Google Assistants. So Amazon Alexa, they brought a new voice in their voice assist. So which famous personality it is? Amitabh Bachchan. So Amazon Alexa has brought the 78-year-old Bollywood star Amitabh Bachchan as voice assist in its Amazon Alexa systems. So this celebrity voice feature is currently in USA. Now it came to India. In USA, it is Samuel Jackson's voice, which was launched in 2019, and in India, it will be Amitabh Bachchan. So you can have Amitabh Bachchan voice on Alexa. His voice, his poems, his favorite songs, his father poems, Harivams Rai Bachchan's voice, all these things you can listen in this Alexa devices. Okay, so mainly to promote Alexa, to promote Amazon products, Bachchan voice was included in the Alexa devices. Amazon established 1994, headquartered Seattle, Washington State, United States of America. Okay, so last question for today, which state or union territory will inaugurate the country's first smog tower? So which state or union territory? It is Delhi. So Delhi to launch smog tower on August 23rd at Connaught Place. So it was developed at a cost of 20 crore, where it will clean 1000 cubic meters of air every second in Delhi. So smog towers are not new to the world. So earlier smog towers were established in China, in Netherlands. Okay, so please remember Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal. Let us discuss what is smog tower, which is a large scale air purifier. It will have multiple layers of air which will trap fine dust particles and it will provide clean air. So fans which are installed at the top of the tower. Okay, so this is a tower. So fans at the top of the tower, they'll suck in the air. They'll filter the air, they'll provide fresh air, clean air to the commutators in the city. So first smog tower was established in 2015 in Rotterdam, Netherlands, and China has the largest smog tower in Xi'an city in Shaanxi province. Okay, so please remember, very important. So these are all the weekly section wise current affairs. Okay, so I hope you like this entire session. So please subscribe our YouTube channel, like our videos, share our videos, and join the Telegram channel, because every day at 7 p.m. we have MCQs. Okay, and download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We provide coaching for bank, SSC, RRB as well as for SI Constable. So thank you students. We'll